You made a revelation which I was not aware of, that Raj Shamani, you gave him as, I don't know if it's an example or the only one of his kind, has a rate card for podcasts. And I was actually shocked to hear this.
Marika, when I wrote to you saying, "Can I please talk about the book?" there was no rate card that was told to me, but there was
Certainly
a rate card.
not.
Yeah, but there was a rate card that all of them have. All of them have specific rates.
So you mean that to go onto their program, you have to pay
It's all
money?
paid. It's all paid. None of these interviews are paid partnership. They're peddled as normal conversations, and therefore the public who's watching this conversation automatically starts to believe in a particular ideology or particular belief. And what I'm trying to say is that, doing that through media, then that will destroy the fact that the credibility of media. Media was the fourth pillar of democracy, because you would keep everybody in check. You would ask the tough questions. You would make sure that at least they're not soft interviews to the extent and the degree. It's sometimes crass. And what happens is that a young person who's 16 or 17, of course, as much as they're discerning and they can tell, there are very many who get vastly influenced. And most of these people who are these influencers, and that's the beef that I have with them in a Gen Z slang, is the fact that most of them try to be holier than thou. So it's suddenly giving you spiritual gyan, they're giving you relationship advice. And this is what I would like to tell people via your platform, is that most of these people's lives, if you actually put the camera on them, like it's happened, when the camera comes shining, not on India's Got Talent, but India's Got Legend, then you've got a very different personality. And there's no problem with that. You're just a normal 30-year-old, but then behave like a normal 30-year-old. Don't start giving gyan in the middle of your podcast per se. So that is something that I firmly believe. Like in journalism, you used to ask questions. I've grown up watching so many people who ask tough questions, and that's the way it should be.
But can I ask you again? You're basically saying that if you reach out to, let's say, Raj Shamani, he will say to you, or his producers will say to you, or somebody in his team will say to you, Rishabh, if you want to get onto the show, this is how much money you have to pay.
And Barkha, the sad thing I'll tell you is this: 6 years ago, in case of Raj, and I've said this to him as well, and before making this public, I even reached out to him personally. 6 years ago, when he was starting out, if you go to his page, one of the first interviews was mine. He came to me and he said, Rishabh, can I please take your interview? I said, listen, my reach is physical, it's not digital. And my job is to create leaders, not become one. Don't take it. But if you want to take it, please. So I gave him the interview. And then 6 years later, when we reached out to him saying, this is something that we would like to talk about. It's about Gen Z. It is about podcasters, influencers, etc. That's when the shock came, that the rate card came through. And then I did message him and I did say that, is it possible to do this? There was radio silence. And after that, the team again got back and said, we can give you a little bit of a discount. That's about it.
And I don't know what to say. I'm just so startled that I don't know what to say.
And I hope Vijay Mallya was charged 10 crore, is all I would say.